Welcome to the show. I'm John DeBona, and I'm glad you're here. This is where we cut through the noise and break down the issues happening in our country. Project 2025 is gunning for public broadcasting. This isn't reform, it's censorship. We must resist Project 2025. Now, before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to turnleftpack.org. Share the videos. Watch our Resist Project 2025 reels on our channel. Every view, like, and share helps spread the word. Project 2025 aims to defund public broadcasting and control the media narrative. We must resist Project 2025. Pages 246 and 247 say that all Republican presidents have recognized that public funding of domestic broadcast is a mistake. PBS and NPR do not even bother to run programming that would attract conservatives. They want to defund NPR and PBS, not for bias, but for not conforming. This is about replacing independent media with partisan propaganda. Project 2025 isn't about reform, it's about censorship. This is a direct attack on free press. Today, we're diving into a critical topic, Project 2025 and its plan to defund public broadcasting. Make no mistake, this isn't about reforming NPR or PBS. This is about silencing independent media and controlling the narrative. We're going to unpack what this means for free press, for our democracy, and why we must absolutely resist Project 2025. And joining me today is Kimber Watson to walk us through this important topic. Kimber, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me back, John. I'm really excited to get started today.
Absolutely. We're here on page 246 and 247 of the Project 2025 handbook. And it says right here, they are going after public funding of domestic broadcasts like PBS and NPR. They point out that they say that every Republican president has recognized that public funding of domestic broadcasts like this is a mistake. Um, why do you think that conservatives are so intent on defunding public broadcasting like NPR and PBS?
Well, to be honest, John, I think what they're trying to do is um, like you said, control the narrative. Um, they want the media to be more like what Fox News is. If they got a lie, they're going to put it out there. Um, they've already Trump has even gone after CNN, MSNBC, ABC. I mean, all these regular stations, and he's all calling them out. And when he becomes president, he's talking about that controlling them. But the bigger piece is this NPR and this PBS. Um, these are stations that have been around for years, as far back as I can remember. And one of the things that's really scary about it is it's like PBS is like one of the biggest things for kids. My kids grew up watching Mr. Rogers and Sesame
Sesame
Street.
Street? Exactly. Me too.
Yeah, and so they want to take this. What are they going to take? What are they going to do? They're going to get rid of Big Bird and Ernie and all these things that kids love. Um, the other thing is that these are stations, NPR and PBS. They're stations that look they're neutral. They've always been pretty neutral. They sit there and they go, okay, these are the facts. This is what we're going to put out there is the facts. Conservatives, they don't like facts. They don't like reality. They have proven that to us time and time again. When you think about how they're banning books, I mean, some of the books that they're banning are just ridiculous. I mean, Harry Potter, come on. What, because it's got magic in it or something? I don't
Right.
get it.
Yeah, me
Um
neither.
and if they the other part of this is if they do eliminate these these public broadcasting, it's not just them they're going after. They're going after like regular news stations, CBS, ABC, NBC, all these stations. What they want to do is they want to control everything that's coming out of their mouths and not what's coming out of what reality is. They want to control what our reality is. And
That's
we've been
exactly
seeing that.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Since Trump entered the first election in 2016, he has been trying to control the narrative with his lies, you know,
And yeah,
and
like you
if
said,
they
this
defund.
public broadcasting
Mhm,
provides nonpartisan factual news. And
yeah,
isn't that something that we all need?
yeah, it is. I mean, it's really hard to find sources these days to be able to pick and choose what's on the right, what's on the left, what's in the center. If they start with NPR and PBS, pretty soon it's going to be ABC, NBC, CBS, and next thing you know, we're going to have to pay for our streaming to get regular television. You go back to the beginning of television. Television has always been paid for and sponsored by corporations. That's how they run their ads, and that's how uh, public radio and TV have managed all this time. Now what we are seeing is we're like going to have to pay for free TV. And like I said before, I mean, kids in America growing up without um
Big Bird and
Sesame
Ernie.
Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie. I mean, come on. This is just these people are taking their radical ideas and trying to manipulate the people.
Exactly. The conservatives are claiming that NPR and PBS are biased, but they
Mhm.
just really want to silence alternative voices. What do you think that defunding NPR and PBS would mean for communities, especially rural and underrepresented ones?
Well, I don't know. Um,
We were kind of touching on this a little bit about the about kids not being able to
yeah.
grow up with that.
Well,
Uh,
yeah,
they're lifelines in underserved areas for local news and education.
right. Yeah. And well, that's the thing. I mean, if you don't have your local news, if you have to pay for your local news, um, seriously? I mean, some of these people, I have kids that live in rural areas and they're struggling. We're all struggling right now. And it's all part of our comeback from shutting down the country, you know? And one of the things is that if my grandkids can't have access to TV, what are they going to be learning? You know, like I said, I can't. It just makes me angry because I just can't think about people trying to eliminate Sesame Street, and that just has got me my goat going. But
Exactly.
even
Without federally funding of the
mhm,
of NPR, PBS,
yeah,
independent media,
mhm,
these communities will lose access to reliable news and
mhm.
critical programming. And this is a larger effort to centralize media and control block diverse perspectives.
Well, not only that, John, think about it. It's about shutting the people up. Well, one of the First Amendment, it talks about freedom of speech. And bottom line is, they just want to shut people up that want to be able to speak freely about what the truth is. If you really think about it, um, if we go back to, do you remember the sorry, give me a second. The Floyd, remember they had in Washington, they had that big, huge rally about it was a peaceful protest about Floyd. And it was in Washington. And next thing we knew, everybody's watching this peaceful protest on TV. And then next thing everybody knows, Trump's got people gassing these people, causing these, he did this. And why did he do that? Because he wanted to get a photo op in front of a church with an upside down Bible.
Right.
You know,
This whole
um,
thing, it's not about bias, it's
mm-mm,
about power. And defunding public media silences voices that don't fit the conservative agenda.
mhm.
And once they silence public broadcasting, what's next? And we are going to talk about that right after the break.
When I ran for Congress, we flipped more Trump voters blue than any other congressional race in the country. We did this by calling out the GOP's lies and speaking truth against their $1 million attack ads. I've now partnered with Turn Left, and we're taking the fight to the extremists like Marge the Trainwreck Green, Ted Cruz, and Josh Hawley, to name a few. And I'm asking each and every one of you all to donate $25 today to the group that is absolutely helping to send these jackaloons packing. It's time to speak truth to power and turn left.
Well, we are going to dive into the real agenda of Project 2025, and that's to control the narrative. Project 2025 is more than just defunding public broadcasting. It's about controlling the media narrative altogether. When you silence NPR and PBS, you clear the field for partisan outlets to dominate unchecked. Kimber, what do you think would be what would the media landscape look like where only one political faction controls the majority of information that we consume?
Well, people won't be getting. They won't be able to look at both sides. Number one, number two. I mean, that's part of the freedom of speech. It even our forefathers talked about how important the press was in how they needed to make sure that um, when they put the information out, it was both sides, so that we people can get a clearer picture. Right now, we have so many tools at our fingertips. We can get on the computer and Google anything. You can research anything, but once they start with NPR and PBS, then they'll start with the other television stations and radio stations, and then they're going to start with all the stuff that we're Googling now to find out what the truth is. We won't be able to have the factchecker.com because they want to take this away. They want to control the masses, is basically what they want to do. And I'm sorry, but that's not what the Constitution's about.
Exactly. That's not democracy. And it is absolutely dangerous to have this type of media monopolization.
Mm.
It does not coexist with a free and fair democracy.
No, it doesn't, John. And it's really sad because it's like they want to put us in this like little shell and say, okay, we're the conservative party. Now you're going to do and act and say and what we believe in. I mean, the one person that screams about freedom of speech all the time is Donald Trump. And it's like, okay, well, there's a difference between freedom of speech and freedom of hate speech and freedom of lies. I mean,
Exactly. So, Project 2025's larger agenda is dismantling federal institutions and oversight. This attack on public broadcasting is a piece of their plan to gain control over narratives and policy. Kimber, how do you think that this fits into Project 2025's broader goals of reshaping government and society?
well, the fact that they want to just tear everything down
Hmm.
should be enough. But, um, you know, if okay, so let's think about it. I mean, there's so many factors into this document, and it targets a wide variety of stuff. So if you think about one of the things, okay, let's just back up for a second. You know how Trump keeps talking about the tariffs?
Hmm.
He's gonna put tariffs on these people. Well, what people don't understand is those tariffs are going to be handed down to us. They don't understand that. I don't understand why they can't figure that part out, but it's just, if you have a product and you're bringing it from another country and you charge them more to bring it here, that's just going to be added on to what we're paying for the cost of the item, right? So one of the things that they're doing is that they want to take this public television, and when I say public television, I don't just mean PBS, NPR, I mean all media, because that's basically what they're targeting, is all media. They want it to be in their little nutshell. They want only the information that they think we need to have is put out there. And then they want to, what bottom line is, John, think about this. All they want to do is make the rich richer.
Indeed.
If you really think about it, because if they take away our free right to the press and the media, and they put it into this new nutshell that they want, we're going to have to pay for things like we're doing now. We got to pay for Sling. We got to pay for whatever in order to be able to watch something. Next thing you know, we're going to have to pay for PBS or NPR, but those won't be here anymore. Those people won't be able to put their information out there because that's not the information they want out into the public. They only want what they want.
That's
They want
exactly
us
right. This isn't, it's not just about public radio. It is, just like you said, controlling every platform that has the potential to speak truth to power.
Yeah.
And once they control the media, they control the narrative. After the break, we're going to talk about what it's going to look like if we lose NPR and PBS.
Today, we have an amazing show for you. Join myself, special guests, and celebrities. What's going on, Ice-T? Andrew Yang. Somebody else was hopping on. Oh, hold on.
What's going on, Battle?
As we roast GQP Jackaloon. He may not be a real businessman, but he is one hell of a con artist. That's what it is. That's what they got indicted for. Treason and sedition. And addresses the headlines of the day. They must be held accountable. Live streaming every night. I got more time in a friggin' quarter in a friggin' combat zone than you probably got in the military. This is Ojeda Live.
Public broadcasting has been part of American life for decades, providing news, education, and cultural programming that private media won't touch. If we lose NPR and PBS, we lose more than just news. We lose a vital public service. Kimber, what specific programs and services do NPR and PBS offer that are going to disappear if they're defunded?
Everything, I think.
Exactly, like the
really,
educational programs like Sesame Street and documentaries.
well,
that
yeah,
cover
I mean, sorry, unfortunately, Mr. Rogers passed away, but I mean, can you imagine, not being able to get to know the people in your neighborhood? I mean, come
Yeah.
on. But, I think like for people that are in the industry, writers, doesn't matter, writers, for it doesn't even matter if it's you're writing the news, if you're writing a book, if you're doing any kind of thing like that, they just want to control it. That's all they want to do, is just control the masses. They just want to control everything that we hear, everything that we do. And if we don't have people like NPR, especially, I listen to NPR when I'm in my car on Sirius. I mean, how sad is that? I have to pay for radio now.
Right.
Because why? Because the only way to get good radio is to pay for it.
Well,
You
yeah,
know?
NPR and PBS provide in-depth,
Mhm.
fact-based reporting that commercial
Yeah.
networks often don't cover.
Yeah, back in I want to say 2020, 2018, I don't know. Whenever I moved to Texas and I was living in Texas for a short while, I remember like I would turn on NPR because everywhere you went in Texas, It didn't matter if you went to breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Every TV was set to Fox News. And I was like, no, I don't want to watch Fox News. I want something that's going to tell me the facts, what's really happening in this country. Um, and I don't think that we'll get that if we don't have these free forms that we have now.
Actually, well, that's
Um,
exactly what we're touching on in the
mhm.
next question. What do you think the broader impact on democracy if media like NPR and PBS are disfunded?
Wow, John, people won't be free at all. I mean, seriously, let's think about this for a minute, okay? Right now, we have the freedom to watch any station we want. Okay, we have the freedom to listen to any radio station that we want, or get our news any way that we want. And basically, what they want to do is they want to go back to pre revolution, pre uh, freedom of independence, pre constitution, back to where, God, I keep saying this. It's just they want to take us way, way back to before all this began, where
Um,
they control what we say, what we do, what we think.
exactly. NPR and PBS help keep
Mhm.
the electorate informed with
Right.
nonpartisan coverage and important issues.
Yeah. And you know, and it's really sad because one of the things that I have seen, and I have seen a decline in regular media in the last probably 10 years, probably is when I think really first started noticing the decline. But it used to be in the old days, like, let's use Walter Cronkite. I use him a lot to look at the picture. He used to come on and he said, "Good evening, this is Walter Cronkite." And he would do just the
Hmm.
facts, and only the facts. Now, what do we have? We don't have the facts. We have half the facts. Then we have some people like NPR that give us the full picture. You know, what concerns me is I'm concerned that if they defund PBS or they defund NPR, they're going to turn it into what's like the Daily Wire. Uh, what's that other guy's name? The one that got in all the trouble.
Oh,
He's
which
kind of
ones?
heavy set guy,
Steve
huh?
Bannon? Steve Bannon?
Well, yeah, Steve Bannon.
Alex
You know,
Jones?
we got
Oh,
Steve Bannon. There's a couple other ones. Who was the
there's a
one that
bunch of
Trump
them.
gave the Freedom Award to?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, the big, you know, what is
Rush
he called?
Limbaugh.
Conspiracy. Yes. Okay. So I mean, come on.
I heard he's still
So
sober.
right. So so we're supposed to live our life on conspiracy theories for the rest of our lives. There's already people in the media that are afraid that, like, if Trump is elected again, he's going to come after them.
Absolutely. You know, losing public media increases the
Mhm.
likelihood of misinformation and extreme polarization. And public media plays a crucial role in giving a
Mhm.
platform to underrepresented communities and stories.
Right. Yeah, that's true. It's really true. I mean, well, one of the things that we have been seeing, and especially in since 2016, since Trump took over, let's put it that way. One of the things that we have been seeing is more and more freedoms being taken away. Um, and now, like, first it's like women's health, abortion, books being banned, Florida with their "Don't Say Gay." I mean, what kind of man picks a fight with Mickey Mouse? I mean, seriously,
Same
you
guy
know,
who picks a fight with Big Bird and
right?
yeah,
We'll see. Yeah,
Oscar the
exactly. That's
Grouch,
what they're doing. They want to pick a fight with Big Bird.
you know?
And usually Big Bird, Ernie, and Bert, they always win.
No, exactly. And that's the way it needs to be because when public media fails, it's not just the loss of news, it's the loss of a vital democratic tool, keeping people informed with facts, not spin, And that concludes our show today. Kimber, I want to thank you for coming on the show and breaking this very important topic down for us. I This was a wonderful podcast. This was just a great interview and full of vital information. Look forward to having you on again real soon.
Great, John. Thanks for having me back, like I said. And I'm just really excited. And I just hope that if we do anything, we open some people's eyes, because Project 2025 is not a joke. And our democracy is definitely at stake. Our freedoms, our freedom to do whatever we're supposed to be able to do in this country, are going to be eliminated, and people really, really need to be aware of that. It's not a hoax. Trump can swear till he's blue in the face that he knows nothing about this, but there's a reason that his name is mentioned over 300 times in this document.
Project 2025 isn't about budget cuts, it's about censorship. It's about silencing public institutions that don't conform to their agenda. So, what can you do? Share this episode, tell your friends, and let your representatives know that you won't stand for it. Support public broadcasting, support the free press. Go to turnleftpac.org and sign up for our emails. When public broadcasting fails, democracy takes a hit. Project 2025 isn't reform, it's control. We can't afford to lose NPR, PBS, or any independent voice in this fight for the truth.